Hello and welcome to Rathods IAS Academy. Today in this session, we are going to see very important articles that appeared in our today's newspaper. First of all, let us see the important topics of the day that we are going to discuss in this class. First topic it is about US will come to rescue of Iranians, says Trump. So actually there are violent protests happening in this Iran. So now Trump made a statement that Trump is going to rescue that Iranians who are doing this peaceful protest. And this topic is important from GS paper 2 under international relations. Our next topic is center orders X to check use of Grok or Grok to map images. So actually what is happening here is there are certain kind of new settings came up by this Grok. So what happened here, now it is verifying the age of the people, and even now Grok is giving certain kind of images which are of adult content. So because of this, now our central government gave orders to X to control that kind of adult content and this kind of chat GPT related things or AI related things. And this topic is important from your governance point of view from GS paper 2. And next topic is India has the right to defend itself against terrorism, says Jaishankar. Our external affairs minister, he made certain statements regarding zero tolerance towards terrorism policy of India. And we have to see this article, and it is there from our security point of view from GS paper 3. And next topic is first mountain tunnel breakthrough achieved in bullet train project. So here you have to see what is this bullet train project, and we are getting that technology from which country is helping India, and certain basic facts regarding this. And this topic is important from international relations from GS paper 2 as well as infrastructure from GS paper 3 also. And next topic it is about transforming a waste-ridden urban India. So actually one important problem in urban areas in India is waste management. So here this article is saying that rather than this vertical waste management, we have to go towards circular waste management. And this topic is important from environment and ecology from GS paper 3. And next topic is recasting sanitation with urban-rural partnership. So this article is talking about in rural areas how we are focusing on sanitation. In rural areas, we have one mission called as Swachh Bharat Abhiyan Rural Mission. But actually what is happening here is in rural areas, we have certain constraints regarding infrastructure so that we are not going for better sanitation. So now what can be done? So we have to integrate rural areas with urban areas. We can have partnership between these rural and urban areas so that we can improve sanitation in these rural areas. And they gave one case study of one village of Maharashtra. We are going to see that. And this topic is important from governance point of view. So these are the topics that we are going to discuss. And majorly we have mains based topics today, and prelims based topics are very less. And we have only one topic related to prelims, that is bullet train project. Okay. Yeah. Now let us see the first article. Look at the title, guys. Read out the title. US will come to rescue of Iranians, says Trump. Okay. So here which country they are talking about? They are talking about two countries here. First one is US. Second one is Iran. Okay. So here if you want to understand what is the present article, you have to go back to 2015. Okay. If you see the background of this article, if you see in this 2015, US and Iran came up with one agreement called as Iran's nuclear deal. It is also called as JCPOA, Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. So what is Iran's nuclear deal? So Iran has to control use of nuclear materials to make nuclear weapons. Okay, so under this JCPOA, US and even other countries, they want to control enrichment of nuclear materials which will be used for making of nuclear weapons. So which materials can be used for the nuclear weapons? We have uranium and as well as thorium, right? Uranium and thorium are the basic raw materials that will be used for making of this nuclear weapons. And under this Iran's nuclear deal, US and other countries, they said that you have to control uranium enrichment for production of nuclear weapons. And what happened slowly in 2018? Slowly in 2018, US came out of this deal. From 2018 onwards, this Iran is facing economic crisis. Okay. After this US came out of this deal, from that time onwards, Iran is facing this economic crisis. So in this economic crisis, they are facing lack of investments. There is no proper investments in this Iran because of this deal, because now these countries are controlling this uranium enrichment, uranium related nuclear production, missiles production, everything is controlling here. So because of this, there is less investments in this Iran from this deal onwards, and there is a very high rate of inflation. What is this inflation? There is increasing of prices of goods and service in market. It increased many fold times in Iran, and even unemployment rate had been increased in this Iran. So because of all these problems, now people they started doing protest. Initially these protests are peaceful only, but what happened, Iranian government is controlling that kind of peace violently now. So because of this, now Trump entered, and Trump said that if Iranian government is using force or violence against this peace protesters, we are going to take action, and we want to rescue that Iran people. And they made one more statement also. So here this statement became controversial now. Okay, here Trump said that we are locked and loaded and ready to go. So what is this locking, loading? Loading means nothing but something related to guns. Yes. So US President Donald Trump said that we are locked. We already locked our guns. We already loaded our guns with bullets, and we are ready to go. So because of this statement, now it is in news, and this news is becoming viral. So here what you have to see exactly is, you have to see about what is this Iran's nuclear deal, or JCPOA, first one. And already UPSC asked prelims question on this Iran's nuclear deal earlier. And next important area you have to focus is Iran's map. And next important area you have to see is India-Iran relations. These three areas are important from your examination point of view. First one is Iran's nuclear deal, or JCPOA. You have to see in detail about Iran's map, and even Iran and India relation, how it will be. And next you have to see about what is the impact of this kind of statement of US in future. Okay, let us see the context. There are protests which are going on in Iran, and they had started by the end of this December 25 itself. And this kind of protests, they are mainly driven by economic discontent among citizens. The key triggers of this kind of incidents are, first one is devaluation of Iran's rupee, or Iran's rupee is called as real. So here you will be coming across two words here. Here you can say devaluation, right? I think you might have heard about this depreciation. Depreciation, appreciation. Yes or no? Appreciation and depreciation. What is appreciation? Increasing the value is called as appreciation. Decreasing the value is called as depreciation. Now even Indian rupee is also having this problem of depreciation. Yes or no? $1 is equal to 91 point something rupees. Yes. For the first time since we got independence, the value of rupee had been decreased badly, and we are facing this condition called as depreciation. So depreciation, devaluation meaning is same, but who is doing that is different. Okay, depreciation is nothing but the value of rupee is happening, and this value of rupee is decreasing in India. Why? Because of supply and demand. So whenever the supply and demand is changing the value of currency, then that is called as depreciation. But what is devaluation? Whenever the government wants to reduce the value of that country currency, then that is called as devaluation. So here supply and demand in the market, or we can say market forces, So whenever the market forces are deciding this value of currency, then that is called as depreciation. But wantedly the government of the country will decrease the value of their currency, then that is called as devaluation. So one more country will be like very famous for devaluation is China. China, why it became the world exporter leading in exporting? Why? Because of this devaluation only. So it reduced the value of Chinese currency. So because of this, what happens now, it can reach different countries so that it can increase its exports. Okay, and now here what is happening in Iran? Iran's government are also decreasing the value of Iran's real. That is a very important reason. And even there is skyrocketing of inflation, and especially basic goods and services prices had been increased many fold times. So because of this, ordinary citizens of Iran, they are not affording for this goods and services. So because of this, people they came onto the roads and they started protesting against the government now. And Iran's economy has been prolonged crisis in 2018. In this 2018, what was a significant event happened? Donald Trump withdraw US from this JCPOA or Iran's nuclear deal. From that time onwards, here what happened? There is crisis. Why? Because after US came out of this deal, US started imposing more and more sanctions on Iran's products. Because of this, what is happening? Its economy had been hit badly. And you know that here, US, if any other country, if it is acting against US, what it will do, it will impose sanctions. And even India is also got affected recently because of this Russian sanction act came up by this US, right? US started imposing 50% of tariff on our goods. In the same way, when this US came out of this Iran's nuclear deal in this 2018, it started reimposition of severe US sanctions. That led to decreasing of oil exports of Iran, because as you all know that before this 2018, even India used to import good amount of oil from this Iran. But because of this fear of the sanctions of US, we made our imports to zero. Because of this, its oil exports had been decreased. And next one is banking sector got affected, and even entire international trade had been affected in this Iran. So because of this now, the protests which are happening in this Iran is dating back to this 2018 because of this US sanctions on this Iran. Okay. And now Donald Trump posted one statement that we locked and loaded and ready to go. So because of this, what is happening here? There may be a potential military or support to action that can be taken by US to support protesters in this Iran now. So that is the thing which is going on now. And what is the impact? What will be the future impact of this kind of statements made by the US? Do we have any impact? As you all know that US is a very big country. And if it is making this kind of statements, obviously it will be having a huge and greater impact. So first one here is what may happen here? Immediate diplomatic tensions. So because of the statements, what happened? There will be increasing of tensions between Iran and as well as US. And even we have friends and foes for the countries, right? Friends and enemies. For example, Iran's friend is India. India is a friend of Iran. And even Russia and China can also involve in that. And in this West Asia, already there are lots of political instability. So here all these countries, they can enter into a war. So that is a one potential impact now. And next one here is US will support the protesters by signaling international support. That will lead to further delaying or intensifying of this harsh crackdowns that will be having impact on sovereignty of Iran as well. And next one here is there is also risk of US interference in Middle East countries as well. And again, sometimes that will lead to a negative consequence. Yeah, that is the thing, guys. Yeah, see this next article. Center orders X to check use of Grok to morph images. So what is happening in this Grok is actually this GROK or Grok is a component of X. It is nothing but AI tool. X AI tool is Grok. And recently they came up with certain changes called as NSFW changes, and now they are verifying the age of users. And after that, what happened from December 2025 onwards, this platform, this AI tool of Grok mainly used by the people for adult content. So what they are doing here is they are giving Bollywood images of women and even natural images of women, and they are asking this Grok to change the dress of that image or like give nude images. So like that, this grok is providing this kind of adult content, and there is increasing of number of cases related to this grok now. So because of this, now our central government ordered this X platform to check the use of this grok. And recently we discussed about one article regarding controlling of pornographic, obscene content in social media platforms. So actually it is also one example that you can add there itself. Okay. And here you may get a question regarding AI. So this GROK is nothing but AI tool of X. Because of this, we are having now certain concerns regarding adult content. So here you may get a mains based question regarding advantages and as well as disadvantages or concerns of AI. So please make the list of advantages of AI and as well as challenges of AI. And you have to think like how uh, we can fight against this kind of challenges. How can we ensure free and fair, secure use of AI? Okay, why? Because everyone is using now mobiles, increasing of internet, and if this kind of instance will happen means there will be no safety and security for women in India. So because of this, controlling of this AI is very, very important. So for that point of view, you have to think what can be done to make this kind of platforms free and secure. Okay, now let us see the details. In India, we are regulating this kind of platforms under which Act? IT Act, Information Technology Act of 2000. And under that, we have different sections. We have section 66E, 67, 67A, which are focusing on privacy violations, obscenity, and as well as explicit or vulgar content. So in our Information Technology Act itself, we are having certain sections which focuses on this violation of privacy, obscenity, and as well as vulgar content. And even recently, we replaced our IPC, CRPC with the new laws, right? So we have Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023. So it will be also focusing on sexual harassment and as well as women's dignity. And not only that, here children's images are also morphed in this kind of platforms. So for protecting of children, we have POCSO Act. What is POCSO Act? Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act. So this act which emphasizes the platform's accountability, and as well as we want to curb unlawful content as well. So these are the different acts which are present in our country which are protecting the people. First one is IT Act, next one is Nyaya Sanhita, and next one is POCSO. And even our Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, which made the recent statements. What are the recent statements? Especially social media platforms should be accountable, and they have to use AI to automatically detect and as well as remove this kind of content. So actually this content is given by now AI, but recently what directive given by ministry? Use of AI. So how can we use one more AI to check this AI? This is also one question which is there in the debates now. Okay, so now our Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology issued a formal notice to X. For what? To direct immediate removal of all vulgar, unlawful content which had been generated by GROK since December 2025 onwards. And they said that they have to identify who are those offenders and we have to punish those offenders. And this report has to be given within 72 hours, within 3 days. That is the thing which mainly said by our Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology now to X platform. What is the way forward? How can we control this? This part is very important, and if you want, you can make a note of these points. what is the way forward, what can be done to control this AI related platforms and as well as social media platforms to enhance safety of data. First one here is we have to strengthen our AI safeguards, especially now we have this kind of laws like IT rules we have, but there is no separate law in India to deal with this kind of AI. So we have to come up with this AI regulation and safeguards in our country, and we need to have real time monitoring of deep fakes. And next one is we have to introduce mandatory age verification and consent check for this kind of manipulation features. And next one here is we have to adopt even watermarking or provenance tracking for all AI generated images. For example, recently our government took this kind of steps to make people aware that whether that content is generated by AI or not. So what are the guidelines given by the government? So whatever the image you are generating by using AI, we have to use 1 by 10th area, and we have to showcase that this content is generated by AI. And if you're making any video using these AI tools, for the 30 seconds you have to display that this video is generated by AI. Like that, government of India is taking lots of steps to control this kind of content, right? So we have to make that for sure 100% mandatory. And next one here is we have to come up with stricter AI specific laws, and we have to come up with establishment of separate parliamentary committee recommendations to enhance accountability of this kind of platforms. And next one here is we have to make criminalization of AI enabled sexual violence. If you are using this AI and if you are causing sexual harassment, sexual violence, obviously we need to have a stronger punishments for that. And we have to surely follow this Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita and as well as POCSO Act strictly. And if there are any type of cases which are filed in the court regarding this, means we have to deal with that kind of cases with this fast track courts or dedicated tribunals, etc. And obviously we have to raise awareness for the people regarding this kind of content, AI training, protecting of personal images online, privacy settings, everything, guys. So if you are taking this kind of steps, to some extent we can control this kind of sexual harassment, okay, and we can ensure safe and fair use of this AI platforms. Okay, now let us see the next article. Look at the title, guys. India has the right to defend itself against terrorism, says Jaishankar. So can anyone tell me the recent terror attack in India in 2025? Pahalgam attack, right? In which month it happened? Yes. Pahalgam attack happened in 2025 April 2025. Okay. So which terror group involved in this? TRF. TRF is the one sub-branch of Lashkar-e-Taiba came to this Pahalgam region. It is a very famous tourist site, and this TRF full form is the Resistant Front. It is one subgroup of Lashkar-e-Taiba LET, and they came to this Pahalgam area, and whoever the tourists were enjoying there, they targeted only males and they killed around 26 males. Okay, and later on in retaliation, what we did? We did Operation Sindoor, and in this Operation Sindoor, what we did exactly? We targeted around 9 to 11 bases of this terror organizations and we strike down. And the next one here is in retaliation, Pakistan also did some strikes and they used drones. From which country they got the drones? From Turkey. From Turkey they got around 300 drones and they started attacking on India by using their drones. But because of our Sudarshan Chakra, that is S-400 Triumph missile system, we neutralized each and every drone so that there is no harm for our country, right? So here, because of this, now our External Affairs Minister is saying that we want to showcase a strong zero policy to zero tolerance towards terrorism to all the countries. And now let us see what are the statements made by this Jaishankar. Actually, our External Affairs Minister, he took this example of Pahalgam terror attack and as well as Operation Sindoor, and he made this kind of statements. So here you have to see earlier which kind of terror attacks happened in India, and you have to remember the years and the places. At least 4 to 5 terror attacks in India. Okay, if you see this context, it says that our External Affairs Minister is speaking at IIT Madras on our neighborhood policy. And he stated that India has the right to defend against terrorism from bad neighbors. So, which country is implying here? He is implying Pakistan, and he said that yes, India has the right to defend itself against terrorism from the bad neighbors. And he also said that if a country decides that it will be deliberately, persistently continue with terrorism, we have the right to defend our people against terrorism. So if other countries are saying that we are growing terrorism and we want to spread this terrorism and we want to end India, we want to occupy Jammu and Kashmir, if this kind of statements are made by other countries, will we be keep silent? No. We have the right to defend. That is a thing which mainly said by our External Affairs Minister. And why this statement given by our External Affairs Minister? Because the first one here is our External Affairs Minister want to warn Pakistan against persistent terrorism as state policy. So actually Pakistan is following state-sponsored terrorism. What is state-sponsored terrorism? Government itself is giving certain funds for these terror organizations. So this kind of terrorism is called as state-sponsored terrorism. So actually, our External Affairs Minister wants to warn Pakistan against this state-sponsored terrorism or terrorism as a state policy. And next one here is, if countries are going for this growing of terrorism as part of the state policy, we are not going to compatible with water sharing. As you all know that India, Pakistan are sharing water. So what is a treaty? Indus Water Treaty. So Indus is one Himalayan river which will flows between India and Pakistan, and we have Indus Water River System which is having 6 important rivers: Indus, Ravi, Bias, Jhelum, Chenab and Satluj. So in these 6 rivers, ICJ, Indus, Chenab and Jhelum, the power is given to Pakistan, and RBS, Ravi, Bias and Satluj, India is having the power to use the water of that rivers. So like that, we are sharing water between India and Pakistan based on this Indus Water Treaty. So now our External Affairs Minister said that if we are going for this, if Pakistan is going for the state-sponsored terrorism, we will not follow this Indus Water Treaty. And in this, after this Pahalgam terror attack, India suspended this Indus Water Treaty that we know. And next one here is India. India is having strategic autonomy in responding to the threats, and even we reject external interference in defense decision. So what are the decisions India has to take regarding the foreign policy, regarding this defense, everything? Our External Affairs Minister said that we don't come under influence of any external country. So we have our own policy and we know what to do and how to deal with the situations. And this one is reference to the recent events like Pahalgam attack and Operation Sindoor to justify defensive actions and suspension of treaties. So because of this Pahalgam attack only, we suspended this Indus Water Treaty, and he said that yes, it is our right. And this one is as part of border neighborhood policy discussions, and he said that if there are bad neighbors are there, so we will try to talk. If there is no improvement of relations, we will now defend. So that is the statements which are made by our External Affairs Minister. And what is the impact of this kind of statements of External Affairs Minister? So what he wants to showcase? So our External Affairs Minister wants to showcase that India is having this zero tolerance policy. We don't tolerate this kind of terror attacks in India. And this one here is, he also highlighting water is very, very important. And because of the suspension of Indus Water Treaty, Pakistan is going to be affected more than compared to that of India. And next one here is, we want to dismiss mediation efforts. Especially US Donald Trump made one statement. I only stopped the war between India and Pakistan. But India didn't accept that. So India said that no, it is not correct. So like that here, our External Affairs Minister, he's dismissing the mediation efforts because certain countries like US wants to intervene in this kind of things, but India is strong on its stand. And this one is we want to boost our domestic support to our firm policy. And our External Affairs Minister said that we know what we have to do and we don't want to get any suggestions from any other countries, and any other country should not act as a mediator between India and that country. So these are the things which mainly said in this article, guys. And now let us see the next article. Look at the title. First mountain tunnel breakthrough achieved in bullet train project, says minister. So this article is very important. This topic, it is about bullet train project. Okay. If you see this context, it is saying that the first mountain tunnel of Mumbai Ahmedabad high speed rail project was achieved in Maharashtra's Palghar district. So as you all know that in this Maharashtra we have Western Ghats. Yes. So in this Western Ghats, we want to start this project called as bullet train project. And it is from which region to which region? Mumbai to Ahmedabad. And this bullet train project is nothing but Mumbai Ahmedabad high speed rail project. And we started this project and the first building of tunnel happened. So because of this is in news. And if you see about the details of this tunnel, it is 1.5 kilometer tunnel and it is the longest among 7 planned in Maharashtra. So for this bullet train projects, they are planning around 7 tunnels. In this step, 7 tunnels, it is the longest of around 1.5 kilometers. And finally, we completed that 1.5 kilometer tunnel. And remaining 6 we have to complete in this Maharashtra state only. Clear? So now let us see the details of this. Okay, our railway minister said that Mountain Tunnel 5, it is a 1.5 kilometer single tube tunnel in this Palghar in Maharashtra had been completed. So this event marks this completion of tunnel of this Mumbai Ahmedabad high speed rail project. Okay, if you see certain facts regarding this project, that is bullet train project, it is India's first bullet train corridor. And the length of this corridor is 508 kilometers. And actually we are doing this project with collaboration with Japan. It is India-Japan project. And this project launched in year 2017 and it includes 7 mountain tunnels and 1 undersea tunnel. 7 mountain tunnels are there and 1 undersea tunnel is there. And this project is getting delayed because of COVID-19 pandemic, because of land acquisition, because of environmental clearances. Okay. And actually this is one of the important challenging project because of we have to go for digging of tunnels in this Western Ghats of Maharashtra. And this project is going to be operationalized by 2028. We have to wait and watch whether it is going to be commissioned on this time or not. But what is the advantage of this project is we are going to reduce the traveling time. So earlier, what are the train we are using to go from this Mumbai to Ahmedabad? It will take around 12 hours. But this 12 hours will be reduced to 2 hours if you are completing this project because the speed of this train is very, very high. And what is the impact of this project? Obviously, if this project once come into commission, we are going to reduce our time for traveling. And this train is having advanced technology, right? So that we can also enhance safety of the people and even efficiency. And the train speed is 320 kilometers per hour. And next one here is we can create jobs in this area. And next one here is we can also get technology transfer. And obviously, if you want to achieve this target of developed country status by 2047, we need to have this kind of developments or advanced infrastructure. So these are the impacts. And now let us see the next article. Look at the title. Transforming a waste-ridden urban India. This article is entirely talking about waste generation and as well as waste management in our country. Actually, what is happening here, urban areas are spreading at a very fast rate because of rural to urban migration. Yes or no, the people from this rural area, they are migrating to urban areas. So because of this, the population of these urban areas are increasing. So because of this increasing of population, what is happening here, the density of people is increasing in urban areas. Slowly the expansion of urban areas is happening at a rampant scale, and whenever the expansion is happening, there is no clear cut margins and no proper development, no proper planning actually. Because of this, what is happening, day by day the amount of waste that we are generating is increasing, and there is no proper segregation of waste, and there is no proper recycling of the waste. So that is a problem which is mainly said in this article. Now let us see in detail. This article is saying that now we are focusing on the linear form. For example, we are generating waste in our home. This municipality vans will come and they will collect the waste, and they will take the waste and they will dump in this dumping yard. So in this way, what happened, from one to one it is happening. So the almost whatever the waste that we are dumping in the dumping site, they will end there only. There is no recycling. But this article is saying that rather than this vertical waste management, we have to go for circular waste management. What is circular waste management? It is nothing but wherever the place we are generating waste, we have to segregate them. Normally we'll say like dry waste and as well as wet waste. Dry waste has to be kept in one color bin, and wet waste had to be kept in one colored bin. And even if there are any items that can be recycled, we have to segregate them differently. And even whenever the waste pickers are coming to our home to collect the waste, they have to segregate in that same way. But what are they doing? Are they segregating? No, they just take the bins and they just dump in their vehicles and they will leave. And finally they will dump in this dumping yards. But rather than that, we have to go for proper segregation of waste. If any products which are recycled, we have to take them to the recycling plants. And if whatever the wet waste is there, that is nothing but organic waste, we have to use waste to energy generators, and we can generate energy from them, and again that energy is supplied to the people. And next one here is whatever the products that are recycled, again that recycled products can be sold in the market, and we people will go to the market and will buy. So in this way, if you are going for this circular economy, the waste will be less, and even we can promote economic growth. That is about this article idea. So if you see about the details of this article, urban India is grappling with escalating waste management crisis. There is increasing of waste management crisis because of rapid urbanization in our country. There are certain details which are saying here. The data says that in urban areas, we are generating around 165 million tons of waste annually. Every year, we are generating 165 million tons by 2030, and by 2050, we are going to increase that to 436 million. Why? Because there is increasing of population rampantly in these urban areas. Obviously, from if you are comparing with this 2030 with this 2050, the amount of waste is like 3 times more, 3x more. Okay, so here this article is saying that whenever we are following this linear waste management system, that will lead to increasing of pollution, health hazards, environmental degradation, methane emissions, etc. And even what is happening here recently, if you see the news articles in the month of April and as well as May season, you can see like because of increasing of temperature, fast decomposition of materials will happen, and in that dumping sites there will be more methane gas, and that methane gas can catch fire in this dumping yards. That kind of articles that you can see, images, articles, videos will become viral in the month of April and as well as May. So rather than that, we have to go for proper recycling. That is the thing which mainly said. And even we have one program called as Swachh Bharat Abhiyan program, which is focusing on open defecation free and as well as garbage free cities by 2026. But this mission is also facing certain challenges. What are those challenges? There is poor segregation, there is no proper infrastructure, and as well as there is very low citizen engagement, etc. So because of this, this Swachh Bharat mission is not achieving its target. And if you see, even in this COP30, which had been done recently in this November 2025 also, so Brazil said that we are going to give funds for no organic waste initiative. But even though we are not using that deliberately, that is the thing which mainly said here. So what is the impact of this? If you are not focusing on proper waste management, there will be increasing of pollution, increasing of health hazards, and as well as there will be decreasing of our resources, and even water availability will be decreased in our aquifers, etc. And next one here is, if we are going for this recycling and as well as circular economy, obviously we can create more number of jobs in this recycling industry. Okay, and next one here is, when we are going for proper management of waste, that will promote healthier population, inclusive growth, and citizen participation, etc. Okay, so like that we have lots of advantages if you are going with this circular waste management rather than vertical waste management. And next topic, it is about recasting sanitation with urban-rural partnership. So this article is talking about once again regarding the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So if you see about this program Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, so we have two phases. First phase is we have to get the status of ODF free. What is ODF? Open defecation free by 2019. And what is the second component? Second component is nothing but we need to have proper integrated solid and liquid waste management, and we have to bring behavioral change in the people, and as well as safe sanitation services. So these are the two important aims of Swachh Bharat mission. First one is open defecation free, and next one is management of waste. But what is happening here, if you go to rural areas, in rural areas, the sanitation is mainly focused on-site systems. We are focusing on on-site system. What are those on-site system? Septic tanks, pits. There is no proper desludging. There is no proper transport and treatment. Because of this, there are lots of health risk, environmental pollution, and high cost of operation in this rural areas. But if you see about this urban areas is having lots of infrastructure regarding this fecal surge treatment plants and co-treatment in 41 sewage plants. Okay, so actually what is happening in these urban areas, I will tell you the practical example. So if you're going here and there on your bikes, on certain walls, you can see this kind of advertisements. Is your septic tank filled? Call to this number so that we can clean your septic tanks. Like that you can see lots of numbers on the walls. What they are doing, so if you call to that number, there will be big lorry type of things will come with a big tank, and they will insert the pipe into your septic tanks, and they will be taking your fecal sludge in your homes. So is that kind of facilities will be available in the rural areas? In rural areas, have you seen this kind of advertisement? Like me septic tank nindinda, so call to this number, like that. So there is lack of infrastructure there. Yes. So here, if you are not having that kind of facilities in rural areas, can we ensure proper sanitation? If your septic tank in your village home which had been filled, means that will be coming outside, that will cause lots of everything that you can imagine what happens like that. So because of this, we are not able to maintain proper sanitation in the rural areas. So this article is saying that nearby rural areas will be having urban areas, towns. So we can have cooperation between that rural area and nearby town or urban area, and we can take the help of infrastructure of that urban areas to maintain sanitation in these rural areas. That is about this article, guys. And in this article, they gave an example of one area. Yeah, that example is Satara district of Maharashtra. Okay, so in the Satara area, so there are around nearby there are 4 villages. Those 4 villages are Jakatwadi, Songon, Kodoli, Dagon. So in these areas, they are coming up with this rural-urban partnership. And regarding the sanitation services in these 4 village areas, they are taking help of this Satara's area. Okay, they had an agreement with private providers for 5 yearly services. So because of this, now the areas in these 4 regions, they have free access to this treatment plants in this Satara so that they are maintaining the good sanitation. That is the thing which mainly said here. So what kind of services you are providing? So we can use urban treatment plants for desludging, treatment of waste, and we can come up with the formal agreements or any private operators, and even in rural areas we can collect sanitation taxes from the people and we can make this kind of agreements. So that is the thing which mainly said in this article, guys. And what is the impact if you are having proper waste management? Obviously, we can improve the health of the people and we can strengthen this ODF plus. That is nothing but phase 2 aim of the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. And next one here is we can decrease the cost for rural households to schedule affordable services, and even we can provide better partnership with the private. That means we can boost private sector participation in this desludging treatment, and even we can create certain kinds of jobs in these areas. And next one is we can reduce pollution from untreated sludge. Obviously, we can maintain our water bodies clean and green, and even we can enhance the dignity of the people. And next one here is we can encourage formal agreements, stakeholder participation, and we can address these challenges of remote areas. And obviously, we can ensure sustainable sanitation in this area. So that is about this article, guys. And now let us see the prelims questions. Today I came up with only 2 questions. So see the questions, guys. First one is consider the following statements about Swachh Bharat Mission. First one is it has 2 components, Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin and Swachh Bharat Mission Urban. And second statement is phase 1 focused on India open defecation free by 2019. And phase 2 emphasizes sustainability of ODF status and comprehensive waste management. Which of the above statements are correct? Someone tell me. There are 3 statements here. How many are correct and which are correct? First one, 2 components, phase 1 and phase 2. All these 3 are right? Yes? So actually this Swachh Bharat Abhiyan mission, we have rural component and urban component. It is right. And phase 1 is focusing on ODF. It is right. And phase 2 is focusing on waste management. So actually all these 3 statements are right. Correct answer is D, 1, 2 and 3. And see this next question. The Mumbai-Ahmedabad high-speed rail project is being executed with technical and financial assistance from which country? China, France, Japan, Germany. Now you will say it is very easy, but recalling and remembering in examination hall will become difficult. So now onwards, try to make that simple kind of facts in your notes and try to revise them. Okay, so answer is Japan. C is the right answer. These are the important topics that appeared in our today's Hindi newspaper, guys. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much for watching, and if you really like this class, please do hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends. And do subscribe to Rathods IAS Academy, don't forget. And if you want to get this notes of this class, please do join our Telegram channel where we are providing this PDF. And even you can follow us on our Instagram page where we are providing mains question with model answer and also current affairs in short, guys. Thank you so much.